Adedayo Boyega. What's up, champ? All right. Good to see you. Yes, sir. All right, no doubt. We can do better than that, Olosunde. Come on, man. We can do better than that. When did it become an itch that wasn't just temporary, that this was like, this is what I have to do?
I just decided that academics wasn't something that I was getting well. And then everything else I tried. And I tried to play football. I scored an own goal. And I acted as if I was on the enemy team. So I knew it was acting that was my niche. And at 15, that's when I decided that, you know, I'm gonna try and locate people that can train me or how I can get my skills better. My dad came to see my first ever school play. I was playing an old man who so happened to be an author of a children's book. You know, I think he noticed what I noticed at the same time, was that I enjoyed doing what I did, and I liked the way the audience would respond to my performance, and I felt like, you know, I wanted to do it more. And my dad has always been there.
All right, we're gonna play the trailer for Attack the Block for those of y'all who may not have seen it, but here we go.
Back in the block.
What was that journey like? That in-between time of trying to land a role and get in this role?
This script came at a time where I was on my first job as an actor, and that was in a theater play. And then I got a phone call from my agent and Femi Oguns. And if you guys don't know, Femi Oguns is the head teacher of the first black drama school in the UK. And Femi said, there's open auditions for a role in this movie, but then the story goes, aliens come, and then they become heroes. And I was like, that's how John Boyega is going to release himself to the world, for sure.
And as the traction started, when is the next paycheck going to come? When do I get the next paycheck? Yeah. And that in-between time, how did you manage that? How did you navigate that?
Attack the Block was brought to the States. Sony Screen Gems negotiated and bought Attack the Block and gave Attack the Block American distribution. After that, my next big break was a TV pilot for Spike Lee. And we shot the TV pilot, and HBO ended up canceling it. And that's when I done a TV show called My Murder, which was about a young kid who was murdered because he loved a girl, and it was a honey trap. And this shook the nation. People were very, very moved by it. And that was my way of bringing that back out to the States before then getting the traction with everything else.
Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, round of applause.
Independence. A special woman is arriving this weekend. Very special.
Yes, sir.
My name is not Sir.
Yes, sir.
Leave my son alone and tell your fellow witches you did not see him.
After watching the half of a Yellowstone trailer, do you feel like that's what generally launched your presence in the whole Nigerian era? And do you feel like there's a need to properly show yourself more in the Nigerian market?
Yes, I think that was my first time not being exposed to Nigeria in general, but really being exposed to filmmaking in Nigeria. There is a work ethic here in Nigeria that needs to be embodied also in Hollywood. If we combine two minds, the positive sides of our minds together, I feel that we can create something else that is unseen or unheard of before. And so that definitely is my long-term mission, you know, being here and reconnecting.
Yeah. When you start to be on those people's radar, what can you do to be aware of the roles that are available for people of that, you know, of our color and what have you?
You want to be excellent. You want to be brilliant so that when you get these opportunities, you are the best that you can be. So I would say training is the first fundamental thing. But in terms of opportunities for black people, we're ready for you. In 2015, once the Star Wars check cleared, I reinvested the money and I founded Upper Room Entertainment.
I was raised to do one thing, but I've got nothing to fight for.
Just let it in.
still gets me, man. God.
Man. With Star Wars, it's so funny and interesting, and I knew that this was it. This was it. Like, it was either I book Star Wars, or I'm gonna go to Jamaica and sell pineapples, or do something. And I went to the first audition, and the first audition was horrible, because I was so nervous. 8 months I was auditioning for Star Wars. I was going back and forth. And I remember I'd done my last audition, and I don't know what came over me, but in that audition, I just felt like I gave it all. And one night we had the Half of Yellow Sun premiere. So I only realized until the next morning that I had so many phone calls on my phone that I had to call Femi, and I was like, Femi, what's wrong? He goes, John, yeah, John, just check just check your email. And I checked the email, and it's from J.J. Abrams, the director, and he goes, John, come to Mayfair now. And I was just like, I don't even understand what's gonna happen. And I went there, and I went to this restaurant, and J.J. Abrams was just sat there on a table, and he was on his phone. And he was just like, he looked up and he said, John, I just want to thank you. We know that it's been a long process for you. And he goes to me, are you ready to become a leader? Because this will mean something more than just a role. I was just in shock. I felt relief. It's like my mind in that 1 second went back to everything I went through to get to the point, and everything I sacrificed, every money I spent, trying to explain to people you have a dream and they don't believe you, everything. It went back there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
And sorry. Because I suffered so much for this. Like, I put my whole life into it. And it's hard trying to explain to people that you have a dream and you have a vision, and your life has never reflected that. Your family doesn't reflect that. My life has changed in this very moment. And I remember I walked down the street. Thank you, love. I don't even know why I cried. The Lord is mercy. Anyway, I'm keeping it real with you, but oh, Lord. But when you go back and look at how things have gone, I know you guys have your own stories. Sometimes it just makes you well up. And for me, I just remember leaving that restaurant and everything just felt great. Mind you, I didn't even have money to get home. And I walked from Mayfair to Tottenham Court Road to go and meet Femi. And I walked in the street, I was just there like, woo! And for some reason, it just looked like God had just kissed the city. It was sunny. And I went to Femi, and Femi was waiting, and he was nervous, and he goes, yeah, John, yeah. So what's going on? What's going on with that? I go, Femi, we did it. We made history. We did it. And we just hugged. We were just like.
Hello. Oh, everything is fine. No trouble here. I'll sleep when they stop riding. Hey, fellas, I'm going to that grocery store across the street. Come bearing gifts.
Thank you. You got any sugar?
Nah, don't push it, man.
Tell me exactly what is going on here.
I need you to survive the night.
So I'll take one question. Demi.
So I've heard it said in some circles that it's interesting how there's no Nollywood actor who has gone on to mainstream success. And I wanted to find out, one, what do you think is responsible for that? And I know you had mentioned earlier getting your training, getting disciplined. And for someone, you've gone to get your training, you have your CV, you have your show reel. What next?
In terms of Nollywood, I think there's an obstacle that's bigger than anybody, which is cultural. For me, I think that's the first obstacle, will be cultural. But then the second one also is that it's kind of like sad that there isn't training here that can access, those who have the talent. Because when you're first starting out as an actor and you're fresh, your skills are going to be rough and you won't notice it. You'll be doing things with your face that you just don't notice that are not really natural for certain scenes and certain conditions. And if you have no one to tell you, how are you able to grow? But I think that's an obstacle. But in terms of what's next for me, is sleep. Sleep. I'm tired. I am gone. I'm knackered. So I'm going to do sleep, and then I shoot the final Star Wars in July. So this is going to be our final Star Wars movie for the year, and then I'm done for a bit.
Hi, this is John Boyega. I'd like to say a big thank you to Accelerate TV. You guys are doing amazing things, inspiring young people all around the country, and I am so excited to be a part of this movement. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for the love. Love you guys.
My name is Oscar. You don't enter Ninja Matrix. If you press this button, you go subscribe. If you press this button, you go watch another video. Which one you want to do?